Hello dear students, this is Mr. Hitesh Patel, Assistant Professor LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. Today in this video session, we will discuss subject Basic Mechanical Engineering. Today we will discuss a topic energy. Okay. So in energy, we will discuss energy, fuels, LPG and CNG. So let's start with the energy. So first of all, what is energy? So the energy means the ability to do work, and we know that according to first law of thermodynamics, energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be converted from one form to another form. The sources of energy can be divided into two ways. The first one is renewable source of energy and second one is non-renewable sources of energy. So let's start. The first one, renewable sources of energy. So renewable energy is obtained from the source that are not exhaustible. Okay, they can be continuously used like wind energy, solar energy. Okay, so these energy sources are also called as non-conventional energy sources. Non-renewable energy sources is obtained from the conventional fossil fuels like coals, oil, gas, etc. These have in use for the several decades and they cannot be used continuously. Therefore, these sources are also called as exhaustible sources of energy. The first one is solid fuels. So a fuel is defined. First of all, what is fuel? So the fuel is defined as the combustible substance containing carbon as their major constituent, which is able to produce a large amount of heat and that can be used for domestic and industrial purpose. The main solid fuels are wood, peat, lignite, coal and charcoal. First of all, wood. So this is not considered as a commercial fuel. However, it is still being used as a fuel for cooking and heating purpose. The next is peat. So peat is a mixture of moisture and decayed vegetable matter. It burns fully without any kind of smoke and it is generally used as a fuel for a gas production plant. After then we will discuss about coal. So we know that the coal includes all form of coal from the lignite to anthracite which are formed from the peat in the earth crust due to the pressure and heat over a long period of the time over a million of years. And its carbon content and the heating value is higher than the peat. Next is charcoal. So it is prepared by the dry distillation of the wood. When the wood is burnt with insufficient air, at that time the volatile matter is reduced and leaves behind that charcoal as a residue. It has no sulfur content and it can burn easily without any kind of smoke. And it has calorific value around 25500 kilojoule per kilogram. Next is coke. So it is obtained by destructive distillation of the soft coals in closed chamber in absence of air so that the coal is decomposed thermally. This process is known as carbonization process. Now next are liquid fuels. Okay. So the liquid fuels include the natural fuels like crude, petroleum and artificially prepared fuels like tar and alcohols. Liquid fuels are the hydrocarbons. The advantage of liquid fuels are that it has higher calorific value. We know that what is calorific value? It is the energy produced by burnt of 1 kilogram of the substance or the fuel. Okay. So it has the higher calorific value. It is easy to store and it occupies the less space. We can easily control and handle the liquid fuels. Changes in load in power plant can easily met. Now what is the meaning of it? So in power plant, whenever we require larger power at that time if there is solid fuel, then it takes time to burn and produces the heat energy. But in case of liquid fuel, we can easily produces the heat energy, and with that heat energy steam can be produced, and we can easily meet the change in load requirements. Elimination of the wear and tear of the grate bar in steam power plants and combustion losses are very low. The third one are gaseous fuels. So the gaseous fuels includes the natural gas and prepared gas of the fixed composition like methane, ethane, etc. Most of the natural gases is found in the upper part of the oil or gas well, and it consists of mainly methane with small quantity of ethane, propane and higher hydrocarbons. The advantages of gaseous fuels are combustion of these fuels can be controlled to the desired level, economy in consumption, smoke and ash are eliminated, system is neat and clean in appearance and easy to transport. Next is LPG. The full form of LPG is liquefied petroleum gas. Propane and butane are the gases which obtained from the oil and gas wells. During this refining process of the petroleum, considerable amount of propane and butane is produced. Propane gas is liquefied at 8.8 bar and the butane gas is liquefied at 2.1 bar at atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure means 1 bar, 1.01325 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square. The liquefied gas can be stored in a steel cylinder. We have already seen the LPG cylinders, okay, and these are used for domestic as well as industrial applications. These gases have high calorific values. LPG can serve as a fuel in petrol engine used in cars and buses, and it produces less pollutants. The next gas is CNG. We all are familiar with this gas because nowadays in most of the cars we are using these gases, and the price per unit kilometer will be very less as compared to petrol. Okay, so the full form of the CNG is compressed natural gas. When the natural gas is compressed, it is known as CNG, and in CNG methane is as their main constituent. It is stored and distributed in hard container at a pressure of 20 to 25 megapascal, which is equal to 2900 to 3600 psi, usually in cylindrical or spherical shapes. CNG can be used to run the automobiles with the help of CNG conversion kit. CNG conversion kit are used to convert petroleum driven cars into CNG driven cars, and it is lighter than air and disappear quickly when released to the atmosphere. The advantages of the CNG: so low maintenance cost than other hydrocarbon fuel powered vehicles. CNG fuel system are sealed and preventing fuel losses from the evaporation. CNG mixes easily and evenly in the air, and less pollution and more efficiency is obtained by using CNG and increase the life of lubricating oil. The next one is biomass energy. Okay, so biomass is the organic material which has stored in the sunlight in the form of chemical energy. Biomass includes wood, biofuel and biogas, and bioenergy is generated when biomass is burned. The advantages of biomass energy is the plants ensures a continuous supply of the energy due to their continuous growth. Potential for the rural areas. Biogas can be used for cooking purposes. Waste can be used as an excellent fertilizers. The disadvantages of biomass energy is, except biogas production, the other biomass energy sources have to be established a significant role, and availability of this energy is limited. Next is hydel energy. The energy in form of flowing water can be used to produce electricity. Hydropower can be generated by using water collected, and it is stored at very high elevation and laid through a tunnel or the pipeline to the turbine located at low level. Okay, and the minimum height for the waterfall that must be 10 meter. Hydroelectric power generation capacity in India is around 27010 megawatt, and the advantages are the longer life of the mechanical components, minimum operating stops is required, non-polluting, hence it is environment friendly. So what are the disadvantages? So hydropower projects takes long time for the clearance. Resettlement of displaced people is the major problem associated to any hydropower plant. Large scale initial investment is required because lots of money is required for build up the civil structure. The next one is tidal energy, another form of energy which is related to local geological condition, that is tidal energy. As water flow in form of tides in high level to low level, and it can be used to generate electricity. The tidal energy can be harnessed by constructing a tidal barrage. During high tides, the sea water flows into the reservoir of the barrage and turns the turbine, which in turn produces electricity. During low tides, when the sea level is low, the sea water stored in the barrage flow out into the sea and turns the turbine. Okay. By this way, we can produce electrical energy. The advantages can be a source of energy for coastal cities. No raw material is required and generation of energy is very cheaper. Disadvantages: the availability is for limited duration and vary with the time and location. Generation capacity is less. Operational difficulties during bad weather. The last one is geothermal energy. In geothermal energy, the geothermal energy means the heat of the earth. We know that the earth core is with a temperature at around 60,000 degrees Celsius and is a molten mass processing vast amount of energy. And this energy sometimes breaks through the earth and produces volcanoes. And the steam is then used to produce electric generators. And the advantage is, as it is an inexhaustible energy resources, it is very cheap, it is good for the hilly and remote area where no other energy sources are available. There are certain disadvantages. These hot springs are generally away from the area having potential of the industrial development. The stream energy is to be used as it cannot be carried out for a longer distance due to loss of energy and due to the cost factor also. So this is all about the geothermal energy. If you have any queries regarding the topics, so you can write down your comments in the comment section. Thank you for watching my video.